DJ asked the question on the radio today, should he give a smartphone to his 13-year-old son who is begging for it because all his other friends have smartphones. And I think that's a very interesting question. When I was a kid, we were allowed to have a normal basic phone when we could drive, because before that, it wasn't really necessary. Before you're driving, you're always with a friend who has a phone or an adult who has a phone, and you can always have access to a phone. Why do you need to have your own phone? It's a fine answer. It was kind of hard to argue with that. Well, I want one. I wasn't good enough. In this day and age, I think you see something you like, or you gotta have it. And I don't see what that's, first of all, sounds a lot like covetousness, but it's also unrealistic. Who has enough money to do that with everything? What's wrong with saying, hey man, do you mind if I borrow your phone? Or, asking somebody to drive you somewhere, or I'm not saying you should mooch off everybody and borrow everything and never buy your own stuff or your own tools or your own whatever, but there is a line. You don't have to own everything. Some things can be rented, some things can be borrowed, and a phone, something that's not going to be used up, consumed, or hopefully not broken and just making a phone call. There's no reason why you can't borrow a phone from somebody. But bigger than that, smartphones are just such a new and dangerous thing. Relatively new. I'm sure you're probably watching this on a smartphone, so it's like, well, we already all have them. I think that schools should be teaching kids how to raise their own food, how to fill out a tax form, how to apply for a job. Most of them are not. There are a few that are. And there should also be a class somewhere out there. Maybe we shouldn't be relying on the school system for this. How to handle a smartphone, how to use your smartphone for good on one end of things, because on the other end of things, there's how your smartphone can lead to destruction, to addiction, to bad habits, dangerous habits, poisonous lifestyles, toxic living. You're going to be hurting other people. And it just, if there was nothing else, just the access to pornography alone would be enough for me to say no to a 13-year-old for a smartphone. You can have a phone when you can drive, that's fine. Why does it have to be a smartphone? Why do you need to have access, unrestricted access to all this junk out there? And sure, there are restrictions you can put, but there are always loopholes too. So, man, when my kids are old enough, I hope that, I'm sure we'll be moving on to something else, but I hope that to keep them away from smartphones as long as possible. Until they are properly trained to use them, I see no reason why they should have them. Same with a knife, same with a gun, same with an angle grinder, same with a chainsaw, same with a smartphone. There's no reason they should have one until they're properly trained how to safely handle one. So that's what I think. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.